Boys in the Hood is one of my top 10 all-time favorite films. It was Ice Cube's acting debut, I believe, and he got rave reviews. He played a young adult gangbanger in South Central, and after that he landed another role as a South Central street dude in the classic Fridays franchise and Higher Learning and many other characters. But those characters didn't seem like too much of a stretch. Then he got into more mainstream roles like 21 Jump Street. He got into family-friendly roles like Are We There Yet? He did the action movie Torque. Then he did the comedy Barbershop franchise. So Cube kind of became a legit movie star. But if ever there was an example of stay in your lane, Ice Cube in War of the Worlds is it. See, it doesn't matter what role you put Ice Cube in, as long as it involves a character with a mean mug, an attitude, and a rebellious nature. But casting Ice Cube as Will Radford, a Homeland Security global computer surveillance expert, is a stretch that even Reed Richards couldn't manage. Ice Cube is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, hip-hop artists, so it pains me to say, frankly, he's terrible in this. He wears one expression, a scowl, throughout the whole movie, no matter what's happening, whether it's good or bad. He spies on his pregnant daughter and his college-age son. He's able to hack into just about any digital device or hardwire device, so he hacks into his daughter's digital refrigerator just to make sure she's eating properly because she's pregnant. So this is all just to set him up as totally overbearing so that his transformation/redemption by the end of the movie is not so hard to notice. This movie was shot during the pandemic lockdown, and everything is depicted on screen, like using camera phones and computer screens. My understanding is that this term is called screen life. That's how the narrative is presented. Speaking about screens, who would have thought that a high-level government DEFCON 1 security briefing involving the president, which happens here in this movie, would be conducted on a Zoom call? Although with the current administration, that's not so hard to believe. So none of the actors interact with each other. I think maybe Ice Cube has a daughter in this who has a fiance, and I think there are scenes where they are seen in the frame at the same time. But other than that, some of the characters like Eva Longoria and Ice Cube, they could be sitting in their home basements collecting the easiest paycheck they've ever made. Now, one result of this screen life motif is you really got to be a good actor to be able to pull this off. It's not easy for an actor to be convincing when he or she is just acting into a lens. They're by themselves. There's no feedback from a scene partner for that actor to play on. Clark Gregg, who we know as Agent Coulson, he plays Briggs, the director of Homeland Security in this movie, and Eva Longoria, she plays a NASA technician. They're both of an acting caliber that they're up to the task of being convincing while not interacting with anything or anyone. Even the young actors playing Ice Cube's daughter, or Will Radford's daughter, and his son, they're decent. Cube himself, however, is not. When he has to deliver weighty dialogue, he sounds like he's reading directly off the script or he's reading a book report to his 5th grade class.
They knew exactly where they were going, and they are systematically eliminating resources and our ability to coordinate a response. Here, let me show you.
Here, let me show you.
So if we concentrate our armed response assets to our high-priority locations, we can hit as many as possible. I think it's the only option we have right now.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. He may work for Homeland Security, but the way he sounds like he works for Homie Security. It's like they just handed him the script on the spot.
Get away from that! Get out of there!
Get away from that! Now, when we first meet Ice Cube's daughter, or Will Radford's daughter, they make a point of letting us know that she is some kind of advanced biochemist, developing a formula that can alter DNA. That is what is known in cinema parlance as knocking you over the fucking head with foreshadowing. Because as soon in the first 10 minutes, they tell you this, and they make a big show of it, so you know that it's gonna play some part in the conclusion of this film. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but whatever. And of course, this brilliant young woman, fine as hell, who of course looks like your typical everyday scientist, is married to an Amazon delivery driver. Right. So, not very likely that these two would meet and connect in real life unless your life was being sponsored by Amazon Prime, like this movie was produced for. That's the case here. Yeah, this movie was produced for Amazon Prime, and the entire third act is a shameless commercial for Amazon, their delivery service, their online shopping interface, and their gift cards.
Faith can load it here and I can get it to you. Prime Air.
Prime Air.
Oh, it's the feature of delivery. They've been training us for months. I need you to place an official order on Amazon to activate the drone.
Nuts.
There have been a number of movies made roughly between 2010 and 2020 that featured this screen life motif where the entire narrative is played out on a screen, whether it's an iPhone or a cell phone or security cameras or someone's got a video camera and they're pieced together. This style is not my cup of tea, but some of the trailers I've seen for some of these movies, the movie Unfriended, which I can't remember what year that came out. I think it was early mid 2000s, 2014, something like that. I remember that looking pretty decent, and I may have actually watched it. I watched one of these movies, and it wasn't bad. I think that was the one, and it looked relevant for the time. But this movie, which uses the same style, it feels like a throwback to the early 2000s, like a relic of the 24 TV series starring Kiefer Sutherland, or Will Smith's 1998 film Enemy of the State. I guess because the graphics in this, and they overload the screen with graphics. The graphics look just cheap and dated. Words and images fly across the screen rapidly, but none of the situations really, or none of the way the characters interact for the most part, it just doesn't generate the high global stakes or tension that an alien invasion should. Matter of fact, the only connection this movie makes to the H.G. Wells story, the original novel, is the alien tripods, the big things that come out of these eggs, and they walk on 3 stilts, and they destroy everything. That's the only thing that this movie, the connection to the H.G. Wells original story, those tripods. What this movie does with those tripods, I guess in an attempt to make this more unique or make it feel like they're doing something kind of original, it's absolutely ridiculous. I'm not going to say anything more, but it is stupid as hell. Overall, the movie just comes off looking cheap and very little is believable. The fact that Will, Ice Cube's character, looks like he is the only person that works for Homeland Security. Homeland Security is pictured in this big office complex, but we never see anyone else in Ice Cube's office. No one else passes by the screen. No one talks to him in his office. And I understand that this was shot during COVID, so maybe that's why he had to be isolated. But then don't do this. It just seems like the entire security infrastructure of the United States seems to lie entirely on Will Radford's shoulders. And that alone makes this just unbelievable. So between Cube's bad acting,
Here, let me show you.
ridiculous gobbledygook dialogue masquerading as science, even if it's trying to be science fiction, low-budget graphics, and scenarios that blow away any suspension of disbelief. And this movie, because of all that, gets one reel. One other thing I want to point out, and I won't spoil anything, but there's a character who gets attacked by an alien tentacle in this movie. And everything that we see on screen leads us to believe that this character is killed. But just a couple quick scenes later, this character just pops up on screen, on the computer, and starts having a conversation about whatever they're talking about. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, that character was dead. It was clear that character was dead. And I didn't even bother to rewind the movie to see, well, maybe there was an out for the character, but I didn't even bother. At that point, I was kind of done. Bottom line, I could see this movie becoming a cult classic one day. One of those, it's so bad, it's good movies. But for today, between all, like I said, the bad acting, bad graphics, bad plotting, bad denouement, bad originality for what these aliens turn out to be at the end of the day, what their ultimate goal is, and for the shameless Amazon commercial, and there's also a Tesla commercial in this thing. For all that, it ain't a cult classic just yet. It's simple. This movie sucks. There are a lot of reviewers on YouTube going in on this movie. I think it has a 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. If you want to have a good time, just a laugh, I would say that's the only reason to watch this movie. I know my man Cube is going to come back hard though, all right? Okay, I got no doubt. Because even his albums lately, listen, Cube's coming back. I got faith. He's coming back. I'm telling you. It just ain't gonna be with this movie. All right, that's the martini. Hey guys, do me a favor, subscribe, hit that like button, spread this video around. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.